Questions for Alontae? Get a mic. We'll start with Brent.
Yeah, Alontae, I'm not sure how much you've looked at Ole Miss, but what you've seen of them, what's the challenge, and how big is this challenge for you guys in the back end?
Yeah, we watched a little bit about them this morning, a little bit on them. I kind of seen the back end of the Arkansas game, kind of watched that a little bit. I feel like the biggest challenge is going to be, doing your assignment. This offense, kind of like our offense, we went up against it in the spring, went up against it in the fall as far as a high tempo, wide splits with the receivers. And Matt Corral's a great quarterback, makes good decisions. Just make sure we contain him and just do our assignment. And I feel like we'll be best off.
Yes.
Alontae, another history question for you. What do you know about Lane Kiffin and his connection to Tennessee, obviously having coached here before, and how much this game will mean to the fans?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know Lane Kiffin, when he was recruiting me at Alabama, kind of followed me on Twitter a little bit, and not too much. I hear a lot on social media, hear about, the hate, the love, how that goes. But it doesn't really matter too much to us. We're just there to play football. We're here to play another week, another game. And, the stadium's going to be loud. The fans are excited about the game. At the end of the day, we're just trying to win a football game, regardless of who the head coach is on the other sideline.
You guys have absorbed injuries pretty well this year, especially in the secondary. Turnage played great the other night. What's the secret to that about guys filling in well as the starters?
We just hold a standard here. Make sure you know your assignment. Make sure it doesn't matter if you're a walk-on, doesn't matter if you're on scout team. Everyone's supposed to know exactly what they're supposed to do. And on the defense, but really more in the secondary, we kind of hold that standard of knowing the job, knowing the responsibility. When guys are on the sideline, the first string guys come off the field, second string goes on. We're asking the third strings, like, what's your responsibility as a play is going on? And just make sure everyone knows what they're supposed to do. So whenever their number is called, they're not going out there wondering what their job is. They know exactly what to do. And, like you said, with the injuries and things like that, next man up. No one blinked on Saturday, and we just knew what we had to do to make the plays.
Yeah.
Alontae, what did you see from Brandon on Saturday, and just how much have you seen him grow since he's gotten here?
Yeah, every time I do media, I kind of tell you guys that Brandon's doing really good. He's taking his reps, he's asking the right questions. And one thing about BT is, he knows every position on the field. He knows start, he knows corner, he knows safety. And, come Saturday, we knew he was going to start on, I think it was Tuesday. We knew he was going to play on Saturday. And, we just kind of stayed on him. He was on the sideline asking the right questions. Theo Jackson was giving him the corrections on the field during practice, but also during the game. But BT is a student of the game, a guy who wants to, learn, a guy who wants to play. And, y'all seen me on Saturday to kick and play, and I've kind of been saying that from the jump.
You got a little extra motivation having a daughter. Just how happy were you all to see him have success?
Yeah, we were super excited for him. There right toward the end of the game, he was like, hey, y'all got to make sure y'all go see Aspen, which is his daughter's name. It was like, hey, we're there. Big family here. And that's like one of the biggest things, the biggest changes I can say within our staff and our team is, it's truly a family, and the coaches didn't have a problem with him bringing Aspen into the locker room and just, everyone just loving on him and then loving on her. And, that's huge, and I'm excited for him.
Alontae, two things. You got your hand on a couple of footballs during that last game. What's it like to be known for a guy that can earn fans and everybody else some cookies and be that kind of guy?
It's awesome. At the end of the day, I kind of think about that when I'm playing. It's something that I do off the field as far as making a video and things like that. But in the game, I'm not thinking when I make a break, get this interception for the fans, right? We're just trying to make plays, trying to win, get the edge. And on that specific play you're talking about, I actually thought I could pick six it. I was a little late, a little step behind. But at the end of the day, we'll take a PBU.
And as well as Hendon Hooker is playing, how much does that impact the entire team, including giving you guys juice on defense?
Yeah, it's huge. Hendon's always been a vocal guy, even when he didn't start week one. A guy who's vocal, a guy who, leads the team off the field, but also on the field when we're at practice. When we come up together, leading a quick little motivation speech, I guess you can say, before practice. And, that's big, having a quarterback who has that much confidence. But I feel like our whole quarterback room is the exact same way. Those guys are still leading, even the guys who aren't playing now. They're leading in the right way, being vocal on the field. So it's big.
Alontae, your shirt right there says special teams. How important just is special teams to this team? How well do you feel like it's been this year and kind of giving you guys an advantage in some of these games?
Yeah, special team is huge. It's one thing Coach Hype always talks about. We have to win in this phase of the game, week in and week out. And someone we've kind of been up and down with. The past 2 weeks just kind of gave up touchdowns in special teams, and it's something that we have to hone in on. Make sure we're asking the right questions, but also make sure we put our eyes in the right places. I feel like the eye discipline and just fitting in the wrong gaps maybe has been our problem there. But small things that can be fixed. Special teams is big. I love playing special teams, and I feel like this staff is huge on making sure that everybody plays special teams. If you start on a position, offense or defense, you are on special teams, which is big.
What's the mindset as a defensive back going up against a mobile quarterback, and especially when he's rolling out to your side of the field?
I don't know. Hendon Hooker is a guy who does the same thing in practice. Like I said, Matt Corral's a great quarterback, but we have the same talent, I feel, as quarterback and also in our receiver room that we see in practice. We don't just do scout team in practice. We do good on good. So, our first team defense and first team offense is still going head-to-head week in and week out of practice. And, it happens. At the end of the day, as a DB, you just got to be prepared for anything and everything. And, I don't know. We'll be ready to play come Saturday because I feel like just from practice today and workouts and things like that, we're really focused, we're really locked in. And in the film room this morning, a lot of guys asking a lot of questions, just the players, it's player-led, right? So, we'll be ready come Saturday.
Alontae, so going back to that tempo that Ole Miss runs, how much of an advantage do you feel like having that, or just confidence with how fast your offense moves in practice and just getting ready for that?
Yeah, I don't think the tempo is a question. A lot of people are going to probably talk about that. Oh my gosh, Ole Miss goes tempo. Well, so does our offense. Like I said, we went through it through spring ball, went through it through fall camp. Tempo is not going to be an issue on Saturday. We'll be in shape. We'll be ready to play. We'll be ready to go to the next play, big play or small play.
Wes and Vince.
Alontae, I know y'all sort of take this thing day to day, and so every day you kind of try to come in here with the same mindset and get better and all that. But when you've seen the past couple of weeks what can work and that y'all can play at this level, in the back of your mind a little bit, does that give you a little bit more juice knowing like, okay, all this work is starting to show now?
I wouldn't really say it gives me more juice. I would just say it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I told you so. I'm kind of talking to myself. I've always felt like we had the right defense. Feel like we've always had the right guys on the defense. It was just, putting it all together. And if you notice, when our defense is clicking, we're clicking. And when we're flying around, we're flying around. And throughout this season, if you notice, we've been playing fast. We've been playing physical. And that's one thing that I've always known that we could do as a defense. It was just all about, seeing it. And now that I see it, it's like, wow, like I knew that we could do this the whole time. So.
Two quick things. Coach Heupel told us that Juwan Mitchell is out for the year after he had the shoulder procedure. He's a guy that had high expectations. What's your reaction to that?
I hate it for him because we kind of talked before the season started. He kind of told me what his goals was personally and what he wanted for this team. But, like we kind of said, next man up mentality. I've talked to Juju. I've prayed for him and I'll continue to do that. But, he's in good spirits. He's still here with the team. He's still supporting the team. So, yeah.
And then obviously the tempo in comparing Ole Miss's offense to your offense that you go up against all the time, that you can tell. But what are other subtle differences, if there are very many, between what they do on offense and what Tennessee does on offense?
Really couldn't tell. Maybe they take a few more shots this season that we haven't taken this season. But I really just watching a little bit of film, haven't really broke it down how I want to yet. Haven't seen too much difference, just they like to throw the ball deep, and they also like to pound the ball and run the ball. And one thing we've been doing really good at is stopping the run. So just make sure we do our job in the passing game. We'll be fine.
Anything else? All right.